All right, you should be able to hear me. So I have Midnight Satellites on the phone. Can you hear me right now?
Loud and clear.
Hey, yes.
Awesome. So thank you guys for coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, yeah.
Yeah, so could you explain to the listeners how Midnight Satellites formed?
Go ahead, Sir Brennan.
All right. Well, we were a kind of a combination of a couple different bands, and we originally formed under a different name as a cover band, just kind of like a side project outside of our more serious bands. And then it was kind of funny because we started noticing that our side project was becoming more popular and more successful than the bands that we considered to be our serious groups, and eventually it just kind of took over as our other projects kind of fell to the wayside. So we started off just covering other music, and then we decided to try writing some of our own stuff, and ended up kind of revamping the group to go in that direction.
And since you said you started with a cover band under a different name, where'd you guys come up with the name for this band?
The original name, or
the name you guys are playing as now.
Midnight Satellites. So we were trying to come up with something that was kind of relatable to our old name. Our old name was Master Splinter and the Shredders. So we used an acronym that was MSATs, and so that kind of was involved. And the midnight thing, we were real used to playing real late at night. Typically we play until midnight, 1 o'clock at all these bars and whatnot. So I think that's kind of where we got that part of it, and we're all kind of space nerds and whatnot too. So Midnight Satellites just kind of made sense.
All right, that's pretty cool. So how did you guys develop the sound for this band? Is it based off of what you guys were playing originally for the covers?
Yeah, it's weird. When we started playing all the covers, we all came from different backgrounds of music.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like in a rock pop type band. Brennan was in a pretty metal, pretty aggressive sounding band, and melodic death metal. Yeah. And when we started writing music together, I think it was like just a middle ground of stuff from our similar or our different backgrounds, and from the experience of playing all these different genres of cover music. We used to cover everything from like Pink Floyd to like Jimi Hendrix and all these classic rock bands that had a lot of musicality into it. And we just kind of met in the middle with all of it.
All right, that's pretty cool. So how does the songwriting process go for you guys?
We have a computer that we punch in a code and it spits out a song, and we just play it. It's a cool app.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone has it now.
Yeah, I think Sal and I tend to come up with the ideas from scratch, I guess, and then once we have an idea that we like, we kind of bring it to the rest of the group, and everybody kind of has Ryan and Nick kind of add their flavor and kind of change things around a little bit, and that's typically how we've written our stuff.
Yeah. So, I'm assuming you guys, have, jam sessions, and if someone plays, a really cool bass line or something, I'm assuming you guys put that in your songs and stuff like that.
Sometimes, every song, I think, is a little different. Sometimes it'll be really close to what the original idea is, and other songs end up getting, kind of chopped up and changed around, and like you just mentioned, maybe a particularly cool, bass line will be added, or something with the drums comes in and totally changes it. So they're all a little bit different, but yeah, that definitely happens.
So you guys just released your first full-length album entitled Past, Present, Future. Tell us how you developed the idea for that album.
Well, as far as the songwriting goes, Brennan and I, we usually write things, and it's very interesting because what we write about it seems to be in line with the same kind of topics and the same kind of thought processes. And we really don't plan it, but it ends up being that way. And this particular group of songs, they all had to do with being somewhere and recognizing, where you were and trying to move forward in one way or another. It seemed a lot of songs were basing it or were rooted in that kind of mind frame. And when we were brainstorming on what to name the album, it seemed kind of appropriate. Because all the songs sort of lead in that past, present, future type point of your mind frame, like I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where the concept kind of came from.
So you guys first released an EP in 2013. Would you say that your music and songwriting abilities have changed in the past 3 years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would probably say so. Yeah. When we first did the EP, it was definitely more, I guess, kind of like we didn't really know what our sound was, if you will. We didn't. It was a little more of, I guess, kind of discovering what we wanted to do, and we were, very proud of the songs that we came up with. But with past, present, future, I think we already felt like very comfortable with where we were at, with the songwriting, and we it definitely came out different because of that. I think it was a little less like, let's like throw in, a crazy bridge here and like gnarly solos there, and there is kind of still that stuff, but I think it was a little more natural.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt a little more streamlined, whereas the first time around it was much more just kind of trying things out just for the hell of it to see how it would come out.
So I've seen you guys have been playing at a lot of different gigs recently, and I saw you guys played at NAMM. So how was that experience for you guys?
Very very cool, very exciting, and very intimidating, I would say.
I bet. I've always wanted to go to NAMM, but I've never been able to get in. And for all the listeners who don't know what that is, it's like the biggest music convention out there.
Yeah, it's basically worldwide. I don't think there's a bigger convention of it. I think it's like the North American Music Merchants.
Something like that.
National Association of Music Merchants.
That's it. Yeah. If you ever have a chance to go, it's really cool. It's like a giant Toys R Us for musicians, but it's gotten it's kind of turned in. It's gotten a little touristy too, but not necessarily in a bad way. I think it's something anybody can enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be a super serious musician to enjoy the experience there. And
when we got there, it's the first time anybody goes there, it's so overwhelming. One of my friends was asking me, he's like, "I'm going to NAMM for the first time this year. What's it like?" And I was like, "Imagine you're in Guitar Center on a Saturday, and it's packed, and you just want to go away, and then when you walk out the door, the rest of the world is still Guitar Center." It's very overwhelming. It's like being in Vegas and walking through casinos, not knowing where you are, and that's what it's like. And being amongst not only music fans, but you're amongst these incredibly talented and well-respected musicians. You're playing in front of them, in front of thousands of them. And I remember last year, Brennan and I were walking around, and we just happened to bump into Steven Tyler, and then 5 seconds later, Stevie Wonder was there. And it's nuts. If you have the opportunity to go.
Yeah.
We also went into all the different manufacturers have, their exhibits and their booths, and we went into the Gibson exhibit, and Robbie Krieger from the Doors was in there playing and singing Doors songs with a band. I don't remember who the other people were he was playing with, but we had no idea. We just kind of like walked in there at the right time. As far as playing for it, it was super cool. We got to play. We played it last year, and we played in one of the hotels, and it was really cool. This year we got to play on what's called the Grand Plaza stage, which is outside, basically right in front of the main entrance.
So anyone who walked in saw you guys basically when you were performing.
Pretty much,
yeah.
And it's definitely a much bigger audience and group of people this time around. So.
Yeah. So what's the biggest challenge you have collectively faced as a band?
Biggest challenge, I would say, trying to figure out the incredible complexities of getting your music out there on the internet and really grasping the. There's so many opportunities for a band with social media, but it's so overwhelming that it's difficult. You don't know where to start. So that's a big challenge, Like I with the whole Twitter thing, like I'm like I gotta just like meet some people on Twitter, and happen to meet some people that like to do radio shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just try to make friends, and like it's hard to start, but once you do, it's a little bit overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because on the one hand it's extremely easy in comparison to 10 or 20 years ago to record your music and just put it up and have it where people can find it and people can get to it. But on the flip side, it's so easy that there's so much and there's so many different websites you could load your music to, and like Sal was saying, trying to basically decide what like the best way to do it is a difficult thing because there's just so many options, and it seems like it's evolving so rapidly now that maybe something that was working and really good just a couple of years ago is like kind of obsolete now, and there's a better way to do it now.
Yeah, you have to keep up with the changing times with the technology and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what is the ultimate direction for the band? Are you guys seeking fame and fortune eventually?
Well, I mean, I read a really good article not too long ago. Fame not necessarily equaling fortune. I think we just want to be successful, meaning that we can continue to make albums and be able to financially afford to do that. And that would obviously mean that we have a solid growing fan base who's enjoying what we do. And I would love to play music for the rest of my life, having fans that enjoy what we do. That to me would be ultimate success. And on a larger level, over and over again, and it just multiplies, and grassroots following become forest followings, and that would be my hope. And obviously, to play on the moon would be great too.
So was this, like, when you were a kid, was being in a rock band or playing music for the rest of your life what you knew you wanted to do, or was there, like, a point in time where it just kind of hit you and you're like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Well, here's a little honesty for you. It's actually been all honest, but I have to preface it with something dramatic. I remember when I was, like, 11 years old, talking about, like, manifestation and the whole, like, willing it to be. I remember I had this like really crappy microphone that I didn't know what to do with, and I put it on top of this entertainment center, which was equal height to my head, and I had just started playing guitar, and I said, you know what, one day I want to just do this and just never stop doing it, and sing in front of people and play guitar in front of people and have a rockin' band and all this stuff. and that's exactly what happened. So yeah.
Yeah. Is there any?
It's kind of cool. Like, you start off. I think most people start off just, playing in their bedroom by themselves, and that's kind of special and cool in its own way. It's this very personal thing. But if you get to the point that you perform in front of people, like once you kind of get that rush and the itch to do that, I think, like you were saying, is there's a certain point where you just like where it kind of like that's something that you just not only want to do, but you kind of feel like that's like what I need to do. It's a certain fulfillment that you get from it.
Do you guys have any advice for people who are starting out or have no idea how to start out with their band?
Yeah, I would definitely say to just do it. I know that's super cliche, but the only way you're going to really succeed at anything is to start it now.
Mm-hmm.
Start and just keep trying. Keep doing it. Keep trying. I saw a quote the other day, and it made a lot of sense. I forget who said it, and I usually don't like to quote something without knowing who said it, but it stuck with me. It said, this world has a lot of dreamers, and this world has a lot of doers. What the world needs more of is dreamers that do.
Yeah.
So if anybody is dreaming about doing something, the simplest answer is just do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if I were to give somebody advice about it too, it would be just to be prepared for a lot of hard work. I think people sort of think about like, oh, like I just join a band and do this and that. And it sounds like super cool and fun, and it is, but it's also a lot of hard work. It's something that you're really going to have to pour yourself into if it's something that you really want to do at like a serious level. So as far as advice goes, I think that would be it. Just know that you're really going to commit to working at it.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else the two of you would like to share about where everyone can find you and follow you and get your music and such?
Yeah, please go to our website, midnightsatellites.com. You can find all of our information on there. You could buy our CD from us direct. You could buy some shirts and stuff and just keep up with us watching videos. You can go on iTunes and look it up. And, of course, you can go just go to Google, type in Midnight Satellites, and you could find 100 different, download torrent sites that have our album for free if you can't afford it. And that's totally cool with us. Just do whatever you got to do. Just listen to the music and Spotify it and just dig on it. Email us, talk to us. We love getting to know people. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter and keep conversations going with us because we appreciate all of it.
All right, thank you so much for coming on. But before I let you guys go, I have to get you guys to say our station ID. So can both of you say we are Midnight Satellites, and you're listening to KUGR Cougar College Radio.
KUGR
Cougar College Radio.
Yeah.
Is it Cougar?
Cougar, yeah.
Cougar?
All right, so on 3, Sal, ready?
Wait, like on 3 or like 1, 2, 3, go, or
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. This is Midnight Satellites. Oh, we didn't start the same.
No, dang it. Tell us what to say again.
We're Midnight Satellites, and you're listening to KUGR Cougar College Radio.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. We're Midnight Satellites,
and you're listening to KUGR Cougar College Radio.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we do it one more time to get it more in sync?
We'll
do it
one
more time.
How about this?
How about this?
Why don't we break it up? Like, you'll say some words and we'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
Was it Cougar? Sorry, is it Cougar or Kruger?
Cougar.
Cougar. All right,
okay.
Cool. I said it.
All right, I'll start it off and you finish it off.
All right.
Hey, we are Midnight Satellites, and you're listening to KUGR
Cougar College Radio.
Awesome. Thank you
for
guys
having
so
us.
much.
Thank you so much for having us on the show. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank you. It's awesome having you guys on. Bye-bye.
John. Bye-bye.
Okay.